everybody. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Bryan.
And this is episode 77, brought to you by Nova Robotics. Episode 77, we have Short Circuit and Short Circuit 2, Johnny in the Big City. Okay, so we're doing Short Circuit. So enjoy. We went through a couple retros, and this kind of ticked the box for us. Because Bryan hadn't seen it, or claims he hasn't seen it.
Yeah, my dad says otherwise. So yeah, I imagine this is probably one of those movies you have around the house, but I don't remember
like if you
anything.
Are in our generation, you've seen this fucking movie, like alone.
Yeah.
So what goes through your mind before you saw this, before today, when you hear that song? I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero in the midst of the night. I couldn't imagine hearing that song and not seeing fucking Johnny Five fucking riding.
So
going to whoop some ass, dude.
Dressed like Mr. T. So I did know. So I don't know the plot. I didn't know literally anything going in. The only thing that I actually did know was that scene, because I remember going over to...
Of course you did. No one has heard that song that doesn't associate this movie to it.
No, I remember going to TJ's house. I think either you were with him or somebody else, but this is back when he was in his garage and he had a projector. And I went over to his house and that movie was on, and there just happened to be that scene, and everyone was like laughing. And so I've always known about that scene, but other than that, I didn't know much about it.
That's a good one. I need a hero. All right. So we're gonna go through both movies real quick. Since you're brand new to this, I'll let you take the reins and guide us through, and I will interrupt you when you are completely wrong.
I will be. This is gonna be a good one.
or completely enthused, or grew up with a terrible childhood, so these movies mean nothing to you. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I should, before I'm about to say what I'm saying, because, I think you know where I'm going to go with this. But, yeah, I've never seen these movies. I don't have any attachment to them. So anything that I say, I'm coming at it as a 35-year-old man in 2022 watching Short Circuit. So, I mean, do you want to go through the plots, or you just want to talk about I don't know, just talk about the movie as a whole?
Well, we can loosely talk about the plot. So the plot of the first one is just a robotics company making these robots, right? They're going to sell them to the army. And
killing machines.
They're Johnny Fives. And they try to make them all sinister, like Terminators in the beginning, but they're never sinister. Mm-hmm. It's like, they just look too goofy. The big eyes and shit. But yeah, and then one of them gets struck by lightning during a party and becomes sentient. And so and escapes, and the company Nova is trying to hunt him down the whole movie, to disassemble him, or to see what tick and why this happened. And this girl, this Sandy kind of finds him and helps him along the way. And then
or Stephanie, or Steph.
Stephanie, yeah, Stephanie, that's what it is, not Sandy. Is her real name Sandy?
I think the second movie is Sandy.
Oh, that's what I'm mixing it up. So we get Gutenberg, and we get the guy from Nova Robotics is the guy from Police Academy as well. So it's kind of Police Academy-esque in a lot of it. And then that the other manager might be Police Academy. I can't remember. It's that guy. Stat.
Another 80s movie I've never seen.
Oh man, I don't remember those ones, but I remember liking them as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I didn't like them as much as this because I didn't watch them as much. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And they, Gutenberg, the guy who designed these robots, finally realizes that it's not just a fluke. Like, this robot is alive, and kind of joins their side. And then in the end, they beat Nova, get away, and they go to Montana. What more do you want?
Yeah, let's unpack this one. Yeah, so I'll say right off the bat, these movies are fucking bad. They are so bad. But the first one in particular, I thought was so bad it was good. Like, at some point, like for the first probably 15, 20 minutes, I was trying to take it seriously, which maybe I shouldn't have. But then after 20 minutes, like we started kind of, playing fun with the movie and talking a lot and making jokes, and it was just kind of a fun movie to watch. I didn't feel quite the same as the second movie, but yeah. But despite that, I think that the movies are really bad. What I do thought the fucking robot's dope. I'll give him that. Like for an '80s like protagonist robot, I thought Johnny Five was pretty well done.
Pretty good, and then the puppeteering and shit is pretty amazing.
100%.
Era.
And then we might as well just get it out of the way. Has one of probably the most offensive racist character I think I've ever seen in a movie. I was like, holy shit.
No.
Oh man. Hilarious.
I get it. I love it.
It's fucking they took a white guy and brown faced him and gave him like an Abu Middle Eastern accent. I was like, what the fuck?
It's a lovable character. All of a sudden, white guys can only play white guys. Come on now, and straight white guys if they're straight. It's like, we gotta get some acting in here a little bit.
Oh god!
And it's Fisher Stevens.
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, number 5.
So bad.
What are you doing, Newton Crosby? I liked it, and you know what? Indian people liked it. You ever seen the interview with Aziz Ansari? And he's talking about the movie that made him want to get into acting, and the first movie he ever saw with an Indian lead, and he said it was Short Circuit 2. And he's like, they made the Indian guy the lead, and it was amazing. I love that movie. I'd never seen an Indian in the lead. Then it's like I became an adult, and I was like, whatever happened to that Indian actor in Short Circuit 2? And he's like, I looked it up, and it was Fisher Stevens. And I was like, what the hell? It's like he looked up to this character as a kid because it's an Indian character on TV. It fooled him. That's how good it was. And then it's like, he's like, yeah, I freaking talked to Fisher Stevens about it. He was really cool. I said, Fisher Stevens is like, I'm sorry. He's like, it's pretty offensive. But looking back on it, you were one of my biggest Indian heroes. So is it bad? You helped somebody.
Yeah, it's pretty absurd. I mean, I'm not out here trying to cancel the movie or anything, but it was just like, holy shit, we are in a different era.
Yeah, it's 80. What year did it come out?
86.
Okay, so it's late 80s. It's not early 80s. No, it's fun. It's good old-fashioned family racism. Like I said, you set the kids down and go to. And the thing is, most people, I didn't know he was an Indian as a kid at all. I still barely, as an adult, I started seeing that guy in other things, and that guy's fucking familiar. Dang. I then found it out. So, you convinced me. Shit, as much as a crazy stereotype it was, convinced me.
Yeah, it was something else. I was not expecting that at all.
He's fun.
And yeah, it kind of it doesn't. I mean, it's kind of ET-ish. I wouldn't say it's like a carbon copy of ET. It's pretty different, but it shares a lot of similarities. I just wish that Stephanie was a stronger. I don't know. She was just frantic the whole movie. Like everything was and I don't know. It was just kind of hilarious. Like her performance. She's just like screaming half the movie. But I think Johnny Five is a fun character. I just wish he was surrounded by more interesting people.
Yeah. His thing is like input. He wants to learn more, so he's always like reading books and watching commercials and stuff. I loved all that stuff as a kid. It's like we're watching TV, and then he's like, Campbell's, a meal in itself. And there's some good moments, like he walks into the bathroom on Stephanie. He's like, Stephanie, you changed colors because she's naked.
You're hot.
Like a butterfly. And there's a good moment. He kills the butterflies. No, it's dead. You understand? He's dead. Disassembled, okay? He's not coming back. She's just
So
super
good.
pissed about the butterfly. And then he realizes what disassemble means. And then he realizes Nova wants to kill him. No disassemble! And then he starts going batshit. And then there's funny stuff with the boyfriend of Sam.
Oh yeah, the boyfriend's hilarious.
That guy's pretty awesome. Everybody's this 80s caricature.
$50,000 reward. No shit. Fucking gets his sniper rifle.
Yeah.
And hauls over there.
It's cursing. I saw a review on Google. Not on Google, but on the Play Store. And it was like, I rented this and there was so much cursing. 1 star. My children, I had to stop it in the middle. I want my money back. Who do I speak to? We don't give refunds for cursing, ma'am. Okay? Sorry. You should have done some research. You should have known. PG-13 in 1986 is rated X in 2022.
Yeah, basically.
Okay?
Jaws is rated PG to this day. So there's that.
Titties, there's fucking robots shaking their robot asses and dongs.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what you're going to get. Oil getting squirted all over scantily clad women. Ay, ay, ay.
He didn't Ben. Yeah, Ben. At some point, they're talking about like because at some point, what's the Newton Crosby or Steven Guttenberg has the bar date with Steph, and afterwards he's talking to Mr. fucking Stereotype guy, and he's like, "Yeah, come on, get in the truck. I got a Woody." I was like,
"Okay, I'm going to be going with you in the car
today." Ridiculous.
I can't really remember any of his lines from the first one, or I'd do a better Stevens impression, but I got some lines from the second one I remember. Yeah. He's not a big part of the first one, really.
No, he's like the side, almost comic relief kind of guy, more or less. Yeah.
What did he even do? Because Newton Crosby invented the robots. Well, who the fuck was he? He was just like an engineer.
Just another engineer, yeah.
Yeah, something.
His partner.
But yeah, Johnny's awesome. There's some awesome classic stuff. Like I love the when they're dancing. More than a woman to me. More than a woman. Stephanie.
I looked at Sarah. I was like, I'm so confused. Like what this movie wants me to feel. Like, are they falling in love? Like, what the fuck is happening?
They're about to bone, baby. And another thing is like. She thinks he's an alien at first.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
The most, like a fucking obvious alien robot. It's got treads and a wheel on its ass. It's got servos poking out. It had a fucking, what the hell's that called? It had a toolbox on its back. Or no, that's number 2.
Oh, that's number 2, yeah. He has like
it's a laser in number 1. So I could forgive her. It might be an alien.
Where's your ship? What planet are you from? Like, what planet are you from? It's a fucking robot.
Yeah, and fucking, he's kind of weird before, like when she's first meeting him and he's not talking really, and they're kind of giving you the MacGuffin. It's like, what the fuck? This is weird.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, hello. Oh, who is this? This is the guy who does the voice. Does someone else big? He's the
Tim
pug
Blaney.
from Men in Black. He's the pug from Men in Black. He's like a famous puppeteer, I guess. Yeah,
yes, Frank the Pug.
Frank the Pug and Johnny Five. Those are 2 pretty good characters, man.
Yeah, I love when she finds out that it's he like falls off her deck into like a chicken coop. And his bottom is showing, and you see the Nova label, and she's like, Nova! Those fucking murderers! I'm gonna call them right now!
I didn't know you're a fascist, man. Nova? She's always, huh? Talking like this?
Yeah.
Wait, you work for Nova? Hold on a minute, man. Wait a minute, you're white, Fisher Stevens? No, who is telling you this information, Sandy? I don't know.
I'm gonna look up.
Stephanie Sandy.
I want to look up Ali Sheedy because the only thing that I really have seen her in is Breakfast Club, and it's a completely different role. Like she's really good in Breakfast Club. This is the first time I've actually seen her like carry a movie. I don't think I've seen anything else.
They didn't let that happen again, did
no,
they?
it did not.
And some other stuff. I love the scene where Gutenberg is trying to see if Johnny Five is real. They're like on a mountain top or something, you know. They have a fire going. Remember that? It's outside, and he's telling a joke, and he's like, "What did he say?" There's a rabbi, a priest, and a pastor or something. You get the idea. The three religious leads, and he's like, and they're wondering what they're gonna do with all the commissary money. And the priest is like, I got an idea. We'll draw a circle on the ground. We'll throw the money in the air. Whatever money lands in the circle will be for us. Whatever lands outside the circle, we'll give to God. And the priest is like, no. We'll draw a circle. Throw all the money up in the air. Whatever lands outside the circle will be for God. Whatever lands inside the circle will be for us. He said, no. The last one was like, we'll draw a circle on the ground. We'll throw all the money up in the air. And whatever God wants, he keeps. And then Johnny Five just kind of goes to him and he processes it for a second. And then I love the. So what is he malfunctioning? What's wrong with him? No. I think he's laughing. Spontaneous laughter. He is alive.
And then he fucking starts cheering, and then the woman gets up from her nap. Yeah, and they start making out, and I'm like, what the fuck?
And it's like, and I think I messed the punchline up. That was pretty good.
Fucking hilarious.
It's see, I don't think the first one is as strong, and I'll get into why once we start going into the second one. Why I think its strengths are better. But that's pretty much it. You get some highs and lows in number 2. I think is why I like it more. And Johnny Five really gets to do some shit and find his voice and do some funny stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more bits in the second movie. This one doesn't have very many. I think the only 2 bits that stand out was when he kind of goes fucking Rambo on a couple of other machines in the woods. They're like trying to kill him or whatever, and he's like setting up traps and shit. And then the other bit was when the boyfriend comes over with the sniper rifle, and there's like a kind of a shootout type of deal, and he's like blocking him. But other than that, I think 2 kind of has all the fun bits, which makes sense. It's kind of a fish out of a water movie, but
and it's we'll get into that in the number 2. So I think the characters in the first one are kind of forgettable. I mean, Fisher doesn't get to do much on screen. He steals the show. Oh my! Gutenberg is just Gutenberg. He's just bland and 80s. He's
bland scientist
80s.
Guy. Yeah,
he's just 80s as a person, but like the boring part of the 80s. It's not like the cool like Vice City part of the 80s. He's like the 80s grandma couch that had the pattern on it everyone had with the little tassels on the bottom. He's like the 80s fucking Davenport in your grandma's house. You recognize him. He's around a lot in the 80s, but he's not particularly fun. You don't really want to sit on him. It's like, I don't understand. Just like that couch, why everyone had in their living room. I don't know. There's nothing about him that's funny. He's not funny. He's always in comedies, but he's not funny. I don't get it. It's so weird.
Yeah.
I never get the attraction with Gutenberg.
He's charming? Question mark? I don't know.
He's 80s handsome? Question mark. I mean, his hair's kind of curly. Hey, he's handsome.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Hey. We're going to make you a star, son.
Didn't last very long.
Yeah. Hey, it lasted fucking 5 Police Academy movies. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, they should have cast Don Johnson or something with a fucking white fucking blazer and a pink shirt.
Gutenberg, that dumb bastard, riding on the coattails of that black guy. If that black guy couldn't make his mouth sound like Jimi Hendrix, he'd be nowhere.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that's that. I'm disappointed he didn't like it, but I mean, I can understand why, because it's so 80s and so, that era of movie, and he didn't, nostalgia for it. So
Yeah, and I totally get it. Like, there's movies that, I mean, fuck, I have so many of those movies from like, we just reviewed Three Ninjas last year, and Three Ninjas is by no means a fucking Academy Award winning movie. It's pretty bad, but it's like I have nostalgia to it. I used to watch it all the time. So it's like, I totally get the appeal of this movie for people who grew up on it, but me coming in, in my 30s, just watching it, it just didn't really strike a chord.
right.
But I get the appeal. It's a fun family movie, and Johnny Five is at least fun to watch and his little shenanigans.
Input. I don't know how Johnny Five is not like a Lego set yet.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that'll be a gimme. Yeah.
This thing's a no-brainer. Especially when they're doing all these ones for adults now. Just give me a Johnny Five, dude. It all moves around. You pose him and crap.
Mm-hmm.
So first one, I'm gonna give a 7.0. I think it's a classic. Coming from it, someone who saw it as a kid, I really like it. It's pretty charming. It's not the best movie in the world. It's not even the best, Johnny Five movie in the world, I don't think. But it started. It laid the groundwork that we needed to let Johnny Five be Johnny Five. So we don't have to explain his backstory anymore. We can just go and party in New York, man. That's what I'm talking about. Which is really Toronto. So yeah, 7.
I'll go even a 6. Yeah,
6 ain't bad. I thought you were gonna rate it like a fucking 3 or something.
No. Like, again, I keep pulling these out of because they're just newer to me, so I just keep pulling from them. But like, fucking Space Jam 2 and obviously my Tom and Jerry hate keeps alive. Those movies are like unwatchable. Like, I will never watch those movies ever again. I fucking hate them. Those movies are like 3s. This is like, it wasn't that good, but it was fine. It was had some jokes in there.
No wonder LeBron unsubscribed.
That movie was... God damn it.
So, yeah, 6 to 7. We're not that far apart. Yeah, so Short Circuit 2. When did this come out?
That I do not know.
So look that up, because I'm interested.
I thought I saw something
it was
inside the movie
year,
87.
Like 87.
Yeah, I think that's
right?
what I...
1 year later, like, they just capitalized on it. So, there's this guy...
88. Sorry, 88. Just wanted to clarify.
88.
Yeah.
There's this guy... can't remember exactly, but he gets the rights to sell the toy of Johnny Five, right? Like, the robot, now own the toy. Like, he has the rights. I can't remember if he knows Gutenberg or if he knew the Stevens character. But somehow he has the rights to do this. And he gets this big contract by...
Oh, wait. Hold on. Hold on. Let me... clarify. I literally just watched it this morning, so it's kind of fresh. But so the movie opens with Ben on the street selling little Johnny Five toys, and the guy next to him is selling watches. And they're kind of just trying to sell people on the street. And then we cut to Andy, who's like a toy maker, and she needs a new hot toy. And she finds the robot, and then she comes back on the street, and she basically...
And then the hustler's like, oh yeah, we're business partners!
Yeah.
Hey, what are you gonna fucking do? Hey! And then we're not business partners. Hey, my robot, your fucking robot. What's the big deal, man? Let's both get fucking rich. Hey! I love this guy, this character with his silk shirt. Your silk shirt.
Fred.
So good. Fred is really likable, unlike Gutenberg. Like, he's kind of an asshole sleazeball, but then by the end, you're rooting for him.
Yeah.
And you can see that he has a heart of gold, And it just took one rusty-ass robot to find it. And then Benjamin's character is super likable, and he has this love story with Sandy in this one, and it's way more organic than the love story in the first one. Like, where did that even come from? That love story? It's like, what? These guys actually, you can see a little bit. You can see a little bit of chemistry, and then it builds up, and he's always so nervous and not knowing what to be saying, Sandy, and you're rooting for Benjamin. You're like, oh, come on, Benjamin, let's do it. And then so all those characters, I think Sandy's a better character than Stephanie from the first one.
Yes,
better
I
woman
agree.
character. You know, she's ambitious and she's trying to get stuff done.
Yeah, I was laughing at the romance that you brought up in the number one. I was just kind of reflecting on one. Those two have no chemistry, and at the end, he's like, "Want to go to my farm in Montana?" She's like, "Woo!"
And like they've like kissed once.
Yeah,
and
now they're gonna go live in Montana.
Now it's like they're getting married or something.
So yeah, this one at least they try to build upon a relationship.
There's definitely something there. And then the bad guy is better. Like, what the heck was his name?
God, what was his name? Oscar, I think.
Oscar, yeah.
Yeah.
Oscar's good because you don't really know he's the bad guy till a little bit in.
Yeah, like halfway through.
Yeah, and so he's kind of a red herring bad guy, and then he's kind of you kind of like him up to that point because they make him off as like the kind guy. So it's kind of cool. I just think this one has a lot of heart of like him going out in the city. There's so many like little fun moments, and it's like, even when he first gets there in the crate, and he's like, busts open, and he's like, "Oh, number 5, what are you doing here, number 5? Johnny 5. You are taking name for yourself. Oh, yeah, Johnny." And he's like, "Yeah," and they made me come in this crate. I didn't even get a TV dinner or nothing. And anyways, here's a letter from Stephanie, and that's the only part that connects it to the first one. They couldn't get them back. I think they would already, their careers had died by then. And it's like, it's actually her voice, I think.
Yeah, it's her
reading
voice.
This, and it's like, "Dear Benjamin," and it's still shittily acted. It's the voiceover. "Dear Benjamin, sorry we couldn't come and help. But we sent Johnny, and he can help make your toys. I hope this helps. Remember, don't let him know he's in a big city. He'll really want input. Love, Stephanie, and the other guy."
The other guy, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then the I forget the New York guy's name, but he's like, "This is the real number 5. This is the real the toy." Yeah. It's like, "No shit. What gave it away?" The fuck are you talking about over here? Looks just like him. So that's a pretty funny story. Like those toys, I guess those were made because they really wanted to have that toy, and they were gonna release the toy for the movie. And I was like, dude, fuck, why not? Would have been dope. But so
they never did that. It doesn't make sense to me at all. Like, why the fuck would you release that? Charge up the ass for it? You can make a shit. You could have made a shit ton of money.
Exactly. But there's only so many, and I saw this YouTube guy. He had one of the props, and he was checking it out, and they're super fragile, and they're always breaking. And like if you look at like the table shot, there's like they're all like fucked up, like the eyes are broken, and they ran out of money to make as many as they wanted to. So in the shot on the table, a bunch of them are cardboard, and like you can tell they're flat. They're just printed. But yeah, so that's kind of funny. And there's only one. There's only one that actually had all the detail to show on the camera. Like one of the toys. The rest of them are just like.
Yeah, there's like props basically. I love the two.
The henchmen?
The two henchmen who just anytime something they want to take care of, they just run in with fucking ski mask and an axe, and they just start tearing the place up and leave and come back. It's kind of hilarious.
Tire iron. Are these your toys? Oh, no! Hey!
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, the whole scheme is this building. The scheme is ridiculous in the 80s. Basic heist plot.
Yeah.
The building that you want because it has a fucking underground tunnel right to the fucking diamond exchange is being rented out by the local toy cobblesmith. Wouldn't you know it? And his friendly robot. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna kill him and the robot. Duh. Like basic heist plot. It's like Ocean's 13 over here.
Mm-hmm.
But
kind of wish we got that movie. They were the main characters. How are they gonna pull it off?
We are going to be taking the diamonds. All of them. The Indian guy. The robot. Oh, and Brad Pitt. Yeah, there's some good stuff. I one scene in particular I need to talk about, which I fucking love, is Johnny Five goes out. I think it's like when he just goes out on his first time around the town, and he gets fucking met up by some gangbangers.
I knew this was gonna come up. I knew that this is such a Bryan scene.
The Mexican gangbangers, the Latino, the what the hell was their name? Los Locos. We're the Los Locos. And anyways, they get that Johnny Five is kind of gullible and shit, and they're robbing cars, and it's like hey, I love the voice of the Mexican gang leader. Hey Johnny, did you know we have to replace all the car stereos and all these cars up this whole block, or else we don't get no food for our families and stuff. Johnny Five's like, aw, yeah, I know it's sad, huh? Maybe you could help us. We need to get all these car stereos out so we can put in nice, shiny new ones tomorrow, okay? And then he helps them break into all the cars. Did you get it? I got all of them. He's got all the fucking...
It's like
yeah! They're all like fucking high-fiving and shit. And then they make him part of the gang officially. And so he's got a bandana. He's got all this graffiti on him and shit. And they're all rolling down the street, and he's kind of strutting, and they're all singing the Los Locos theme song. It's amazing. Here it goes.
I knew you'd know this.
It's Los Locos kick your ball. No, Los Locos kick your ass. Los Locos kick your face. Los Locos kick your balls into outer space. All right, Los Locos. Yeah. I don't know how many times I sang that as a kid, but an inappropriate amount of times at summer camps, churches, youth group, second grade. Kick your balls in outer space. But yeah, I had to get that off my chest. That fucking scene, dude. That Mexican leader guy was so funny.
It's so funny because when they're first introduced, it's them singing that song, but it's like one of them jumps down, or no, he's facing the camera, and he says the first line and moves out of the way. Another person, he says the next line, and it's funny because when they were saying them, he got to the last part, the "kick your balls into outer space." As they're saying it, Sarah goes, "Kick your balls into outer space." And she started like, "Why do I know that?" Because she said she'd never seen the movie. For some reason, that sparked some sort of memory in her that she didn't know.
Core memory unlocked, baby. You got all the cymbals flying around. It's a meme,
yeah.
Baby. Do I love Johnny Five?
More than a woman. Yeah, fucking this movie does have a lot of good bits with Johnny running around New York and getting into shenanigans. Yeah, there's part where he gets all down because people think he's part of some art piece in the park, and this woman's like, "He's disgusting," and runs away. It's all self-conscious and shit. Fucking hilarious.
There's some ridiculous shit here too. He fucking jumps out of a building and has a fucking paraglider.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Another interesting thing is one of those toy props. That was that they used for that. Like, hey, we got the fucking toy already. Hit the fucking umbrella on top. What do you know? But yeah, I don't know. This movie, it has some heart, man. This movie used to get me. I don't know how you feel about this, but he trusts, Oscar and the two henchmen, and he's gullible, and they kind of trick him and they lure him into this trap, and then they beat him like to death with crowbars and shit. That was sad, man. You felt for Johnny Five. How'd you feel during that scene? It's sad. It's like beating a dog in a movie.
Yeah. It's like a destruction of innocence kind of feeling. Yeah, it's not a good one. You're like, oh, poor Johnny. Yeah. But he comes back with a vengeance.
And then, then Fisher Stevens. I saw this in a review. I saw there's very few reviews out there of this movie. I was looking for some, and there's not a lot of content on Short Circuit. You YouTube Short Circuit, and the first couple things have nothing to do with the movie. It's weird shit. Okay, science shit. I'm not into it. Some Gutenberg shit. But I saw this one review, and he nailed it on the head. He's like, and then this scene right here, where he goes over, number 5, he's leaking battery fluid. What does that mean? He's bleeding to death. And then he's like, got the shocker, number 5, and he shocks him. And I think this might be after he rebuilds himself. And yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is after the boat scene.
And he stops Oscar. Yeah. But that scene, the like love that Fisher Stevens portrays as this character, like you feel like he cares for this robot a lot. And he's really like, he's got the thing.
Dude, the last 5 minutes of this movie almost make it worth watching, in my opinion, because first you get the I need a hero montage thing that makes it fucking amazing, and then you get the Johnny basically dying and Ben putting him back. But the way it's filmed is fucking hilarious because he tells the doctor to come over and he grabs the pump things, whatever they're called, and he puts them on. And then I think he shocks him once, and then the camera is like a bird's eye, and it like swoops down as he looks up and goes, no! And he comes back down and shocks him again, and he comes alive. Just the camera swooping down as he's screaming up in the sky, yelling no. It's like, this is amazing.
So he almost gets killed. And then, what's the New Yorker's name?
Fred.
Ben. Fred. Ben's not around. Fred kind of helps rebuild him. He's like, I know nothing about this stuff, man. What am I supposed to do? I'll show you. And he's like, oh, you're fucking dying, man. And he he just has to stop Oscar now. He's pissed, right? And he shows him, and he's like, screwdriver, left nut, and he's fixing him up, and then like he's like, Fred's like scared of him. I say, hey, what are you gonna do, Johnny? You're kind of scaring me. And don't worry about it. Red. And then Fred like rips his shirt to kind of do something on him, and he's like, "No, your shirt red. No, the mylar from the caterpillar." And he's kind of malfunctioning. And then he gets all hard ass. He gets like a little mohawk thing, and he's like, "Now I'm angry." And his one eye is red, and the other one's fucking popped out and shit.
I think he's wearing jewelry now.
Yeah, he's got all sorts of stuff. Like the mohawks, like made out of bullets or something.
Yeah, I don't remember what they were. He's got some brass knucks. He's got some brass knucks. One says peace, the other one says love.
Yeah, and so he takes off. And he's going after Oscar with that song. I need a hero. Not today, Oscar. And Oscar's like on a boat, like Vice, like fucking Miami Vice or something. And he's like, and the arms behind him, trying to get over there. Gets on like a crane and flies out, Oscar. Mm-hmm. And then this whole time, Ben somehow starts trying to find him. And I just love it all. He's like, he's leaking battery fluid. He only has one main power supply. He is bleeding to death if we do not find him within 30 minutes. And he's just so concerned. And so, that whole ending was just super good.
I love the when the song kicks in. I need it. It's like it shows him on the sidewalk that's parallel to the river that the boat's going on. And he's like, I need a hero. And it cuts to Johnny Five, and he's like going 2 miles an hour. Like, it's not as intense as you think it is, but I still love it.
Now he's hits a little rock. Oh, fuck! It's a pebble like a skateboard and just goes flying. Yeah, then but before we get to the very, very end, I forgot another scene I want to talk about, which I really loved. Is the who is it? Is it Benjamin gets locked in a freezer or something and gets kidnapped?
Yeah, both Ben and Fred.
And Fred.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so Sandy gets the clues.
Yes.
On what the fuck ever that thing is.
I have no idea.
A fucking calculator that makes noises, and somehow it's like connected to internet or something. Is it's getting like clues? Oh, it's like Morse code. They're Morse coding her. That's what it was, and it's like, oh, I just love the train of thought for the clues and stuff. And yeah, the taxi driver gets in on it and starts helping him, and they hear the. Oh, what's this one? You can always go downtown. Sheba's downtown, 43rd. I'm on it. And then it's like, there's a place you can always go on Broadway. Broadway! And 43rd, I know that place. There's an old freezer joint.
So ridiculous. I love it.
I loved that little scene there, following the clues. I always loved that as a kid.
It's so stupid, but I love it. I love it. Oh, God.
I love Fred's just like just freezing in there. They're doing the little Morse code thing. But yeah, the very end beats Oscar, and then in honor of him saving the day in the bank, the city of New York grants him citizenship, right? And then he's at the Ellis Island type of thing, raising his hand and becoming a U.S. citizen.
And he's gold. From head to toe, he's fucking gold.
Because they have to rebuild him, and he's gold. And then it ends on an awesome 80s freeze frame when he gets interviewed. And it's like, well, Johnny Five, now that you're a citizen, how do you feel? I feel alive! Yeah, dude. I don't understand how this movie never got a sequel after that. This whole time as a kid, I was waiting for gold Johnny Five, man. Now he's a citizen. What are we going to do now? I can't believe this movie's never been rebooted. Like this seems like a easy pick to do a short circuit reboot. And what I would want them to do is exactly use the robot because it's perfect. But in the reboot, of course, it would be some crazy looking fucking robot. That's just ridiculous.
It'd probably be CG.
But it never happened. Like what the hell, dude?
Just give it time.
Total Recall, all this stuff. RoboCop. I thought for sure this would have happened by now.
Just give it time. They'll get desperate at some point, running out of ideas.
What's Fisher Stevens doing nowadays? Get it that.
That wouldn't fly.
I'm sorry, Johnny Five. I was never really Indian. I'm here to apologize. Okay, I hurt a lot of people, and I hurt you, and I don't deserve your trust, but I want to earn it back. It'll just be him. It'll be such a woke movie, dude.
Hilarious.
But yeah, I don't get it. Not for sure. I've heard there's been a couple sequels in the works that just never panned out. So.
Yeah, I thought they were legit gonna fucking kill him off there for a second. So they're gonna do like a Turner and Hooch type of deal. Because I knew there was no sequels. I'm like, all right, well, he's about to die in the end of this movie. They probably just fucking kill him. But nope, they bring him back.
Oh, he's gold, baby. He's golden. Oh, dude, the next one should be Short Circuit 3. Life with the Los Locos. That's the movie. It's pretty much blood in, blood out. He has to go to prison. And then the Mexican gangs don't believe that he's part of Los Locos, and he has to prove it. They're like, oh, come on. Instead of being like, come on, white boy, they're like, come on, robot. Prove it. Prove it, eh?
Killing people in prison.
And he has to shank him, and he has like his hand go.
Jesus.
Just stab someone 1,000,000 times. Oh! Hey, this robot's pretty bad, eh?
Get 30 stabs a second on this sucker.
Hey, he's one of us, eh? I like him, Holmes. I think he really is Los Locos. I literally saw him kick someone's balls into outer space. Right through the roof,
guys.
man. Anyways. So for me, this is better. It was just funner. Characters are better. Love story is more believable. The comedy's funnier. I don't even know if you like. The first one's such a weird tone. Is it supposed to be a comedy? It doesn't feel like a comedy. It kind of feels like an '80s drama because that's just kind of how they were. You know, they always had a little bit of comedy in them. But this one's definitely a comedy. Like they're throwing stuff at you a lot. Yeah, love story is more believable. Johnny had more to do. I like the characters better. Yeah, for me, this one's a 7.5. It was always one of my favorites growing up. I always chose Short Circuit 2 over 1. Kind of same thing with like Ghostbusters 2. Unpopular opinion, but I prefer the second, baby.
This one, I gave the first one a 6. I'm going to go a 5.9 with this one. The only reason why, honestly, this movie's 2 hours long. This movie is fucking 2 hours long. They could have whittled this down just a hair. So it loses a point for me for being fucking 2 hours long. It did not deserve to be that fucking long. The first one is like an hour 45. That was plenty. This one adds another 10 minutes.
No, baby. No, baby. You gotta enjoy every minute of it.
Yeah, this one's fine. I don't know. I felt like there's something charming about the small town vibe of the first one. It's a little more condensed that I think I prefer. Even though I think the second one does have some kind of funnier bits without New York, but I feel like the plot of like the criminals and I don't know. I just didn't find it as entertaining, and it's just long as fuck. So I think it's not as good as the first one, but to me, without the runtime, they're basically neck and neck for the most part. But they're both bad.
Ignorant.
I gotta pick one. I gotta go into my '90s treasure chest to see if I can find one that you haven't seen. And see.
Yeah, man.
See what I got.
Oh, we finally got to do that one movie, Troll 2.
Or what's that one movie one of our listeners suggested a while back? I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't remember what it was, but he posted on our Facebook group. He's like, "You guys should review this," and I don't remember what it was, but it was some '80s like monster movie. But we can check it out.
Yeah. We'll have to go back and see what that was. Yeah, for sure. So Short Circuit 2, 7.5, and a 5.9. We are a little further apart on that one. All right, yeah. Well, that's where we is. I'm glad you got to watch them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's the beauty of like doing this show is I finally, because I've said it before, the 80s, particularly that decade, is kind of my blind spot for movies. Obviously, we've seen like the big stuff, like the RoboCops, the Total Recalls, and like the big stuff, but for the most part, especially in the comedy genre, I have a huge blind spot. So it's kind of fun doing the show because I get to, even if I don't enjoy them as much or I don't have nostalgia for them, at least I get to knock them off the list and I get to see them. So the more of these we find to do, I'm happy to do them.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll see what we're doing next week. We typically don't figure it out unless there's something real big coming up. Yeah. But there's a lot of cool stuff coming up. We got Horizon pretty soon. Get the remake of Uncharted. The remake, but the remaster coming out. So I'm dip toe into that again.
And the movie.
Didn't the movie come out, or it does come out this week?
February, sometime in February.
God.
And dude, I didn't even know this. I mean, I knew that it was coming, but I had no idea it was coming so soon. But Raised by Wolves season 2 is like pretty close.
That's in a couple days, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
That show was badass.
Yeah, I love that show.
I'm gonna have to watch a review because I don't remember what fucking happened. A lot happened.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. All right, man. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please check us out on Apple Music, iTunes, whatever the heck they call it. I don't have an Apple. I don't know. It's on the Macintosh. Check it out. All right. We're also on PC, YouTube, Spotify. Yeah. So we love having you, and thanks for joining us. And as always, until the next Vs, we say peace.
Peace.